Hello, in today's video, I'll show you top initial settings you should change first after setting up your Boox Go Color 7. Okay, so let's begin by something obvious. When you get the device, during the setup, it doesn't ask you to connect to Wi-Fi, and it's pretty useful to download stuff from the internet, to browse the internet, as well as to push books via Boox Drop feature, which there's also a video about it on the channel. Now let's go to the settings, which are right here, and find networks. Then go to Wi-Fi and enable it. It'll enable it itself automatically once you go into the menu, and now select a Wi-Fi network you'd like to connect to. You can now enter its password and click on connect. As you can see, it is now connected, and that will allow us to use the internet on our device. And with that, it's useful to sign into your Google account on Google Play Store if you'd like to use it. If you find somewhere on this apps list the Play Store, you can just go into it and it'll ask you to sign in. I'm already signed in, so I don't need to do it. But if you're not, you can sign in or create an account. There will be a button for that if you don't have a Google account. And that lets you download many different apps, which may be very useful. So let's do something like, I can, for example, search for, I think there is something called Kindle app, which lets you read ebooks from your Amazon account, because you may have some purchased on your Amazon account. You can just install it like so, and in a moment it will appear on the apps list. Now let's go to the settings and adjust a few things that may be useful. The first one is going to be the power settings. So in the settings section right here, go to power, and then you'll find the auto sleep function, which is useful to change if you don't like the 5 minutes, which are there by default. Auto sleep feature basically turns the screen off after like 5 minutes or any other time that you set of inactivity. So when you're not pressing on the screen or any buttons. And sleep looks like as if I just pressed on the button once. So this is the sleep mode. The screen is technically off. I know it doesn't look off, but that's how e-ink displays work. It's off. And now when I click on the button on the bottom here again, then it'll of course turn the screen on. We also have another thing, which is auto power off, and you can set it to inactivate after 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or 1 day or 2 days, or never. And that basically works as if you just pressed and held on the button, then tapped on power off. And now as you can see, it says powered off. And to turn the device on, a simple press won't be enough. You need to press and hold to get it all working. Both of these features are there, so it saves battery, because when the screen is when the device is off or in sleep mode, it uses less power. And also it's worth noting that when it auto locks the screen, it prevents accidental touches, which is also nice. Now my device is starting, and we'll see a few more things. Let's go back to the settings, and then we can go to sorry, not that. I wanted to go to the system display first, and the home screen navigation bar. That feature lets you change what things you have here at the bottom. You can see by default I have library, store, notes, storage, apps, and settings. and I could tap on any of those to add them. As I slide, I can also find other ones, and let's select maybe the Neo browser. I think it may be useful, although I will need to remove one of the functions, and I think I just don't need storage to be here, so I'll remove storage and I'll put Neo browser. I can also drag it like so, and as you can see, it is now here. I can still find storage, I think. I'm not sure, I don't see it, but I think I should be able to see it somewhere here. Yeah, I'm not sure where that storage will be, which is weird. Maybe I shouldn't have removed it if I need to use it, but I really don't need to use it, so yeah. Now the next part is going to be gestures, and you can change between gesture navigation or navigation bar, just like an Android phone. You can set the navigation bar. That will give you these buttons. You have the back button to go back. You have the home button to go to the home screen, which is in my case set to library. You can click here to go to recently open apps. Then this one opens the Boox e-inkwise menu to adjust the refresh settings and the color mode and the layout and everything else. And the last button is for refreshing the screen if you have any smudging on the screen and you want to refresh it. Now, if I go to gestures, I can change the order of these buttons. I can also edit them here. Or remove some of them, so I could just tap that button to remove it, or tap on it again to add it. I can drag it to rearrange, and let's go back now. We also have the option to switch to gestures instead of navigation bar, and then you have the slide up from the left, slide up from the center, and slide up from the right bottom of your screen. And it can be set to different functions. So currently it's set to that e-inkwise center. But instead of that, I could just do, let's say, previous chapter or next chapter or AI assistant or whatever else I'd like. Now, I could also change the back gesture because I don't actually use it. I don't use this gesture to go back. I'll show you why in a little moment. So that I'll set it to full refresh. Now, when I want to refresh the screen, because I have smudging, by the way, if you are not familiar with what smudging is, you will notice it as I slide between pages here. It smudges the previously shown image on the screen, and now a full refresh. Okay, I rotated the screen, so it did a full refresh already. But yeah, we have some smudging. If I slide up now, it refreshes. You can also refresh the screen by sliding down from the right top part of your screen and finding full refresh here. You can also click on this Navi ball if you have it enabled, and click on this button to refresh the screen. And I'll show you something else about the screen refreshing in a moment, but let's go to the side gestures. They are quite useful. You can enable the up and down swipe gestures. I don't like them, so I'll disable them in a moment. But basically, it lets you adjust some settings by sliding on the side of your screen. So you can slide like so to turn the volume up, or slide down to turn the volume down. You can do the same with brightness. You can see it does indeed work. And I could change it as well to something else. So I don't really feel like I need to change the volume here. So instead of that, I could do a dark color enhancement, and then I could enhance it further. or less. Or I could change the color temperature like so, which is also very useful, as you can see. Now I'll turn it down because I think it just looks better on camera when it's not warm. I'll disable that because I don't really like this gesture. I don't use it. So, but if you like it, then you should leave it on. Then there's left and right swipe gestures. And in my case, from both sides, it's set to back. So if I slide from the side of the screen inwards, it just goes back like so. Just like on an Android phone. I think that's the most default thing you could do, but you can also set it to something else, like make it go to sleep, or I don't know, do the previous chapter, right? So there's many possibilities. Now there's also other, and you can swipe down with 3 fingers to do a screenshot. You can see screenshots done, and also you can also set screenshots are automatically saved with only small preview displayed, but that doesn't matter for now. And now the other setting that I was talking about, system display and full refresh frequency. A full refresh is of course this screen refresh, which removes smudging, and you can set it to any frequency. One tap, for example, will refresh the screen every time I click on anything. So that's a little too much for me. I like it set to 15 taps. So as you can see, if I'm sliding a lot, it's going to smudge, and it's going to smudge further and further, and at some point it will be pretty much visible that there was some smudging, and then it refreshes every 15th tap. And these are basically the most important settings that I'd recommend adjusting. I hope that this video was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.